it's loose for me.
Begging.
You don't look too happy. What's wrong with you? You alright?
Wait a minute. Should we stop what you're doing and put on mics?
You should.
No.
Caleb said what he's gonna say, you're not gonna want it.
Contemplating on how to get the windshield out.
Is it that tight over there?
Hmm?
Is it that tight over there? So they needed to slide it that way, so.
Yeah, you're almost touching it. Yeah, over there, over here, you gotta get.
I think it's down there. Right?
Yeah, throw it at me, dickhead.
Stab Caleb's shin. That's why Caleb should be mic'd up.
What?
Huh?
What? I'm right here. That's where it's really tight at.
Hop to it. Or give it the old. Oof.
Oh,
Yeah.
thanks.
Sorry.
Touch me. All that shit's pretty loose. Just up here. Oh yeah, we're easy on the fingertips, dick nose. I know you did that shit on purpose.
I really didn't, shut up.
7 inches past where you needed to be.
Oh, dog.
Why are you in there fucking
Hey,
off?
I just want to thank you for offering to get in there.
This is freaking stupid.
It should peel up.
I'm worried about a fucking.
I mean, the top of it.
Easy. Just go slow. Pressure. Pressure.
Pressure makes diamonds. It also makes glass break.
You yeah, shit, just from touching it.
Oh, man, look at it. Yep. This corner's done.
Definitely gonna have to clean the shit out of it.
Like small pieces of it actually stuck good.
Yeah.
It's right there where it clips at is where you're. She's still pretty stout.
That didn't sound good.
Another adventure.
It's like,
It's stuck over here again. Give me a second.
You don't like your hands dirty, princess? That's my eye. That's it. Oh my gosh.
I was just gonna set it up on the roof.
They got it.
where you want this?
So I don't wanna fuck it.
Yep.
You can move it later. Now it's gonna be stuck to the roof.
That's why it's so stupid.
It sits down in
It's
place.
all sliming down.
Alright, so now you owe us some,
Clean hands.
yeah, and shirts. By the way, this shirt was $399, so
Don't worry.
I'm gonna need some
Compensation.
reimbursement. Actually, this shirt was technically like $6,000.
Yeah, take it out.
I spent $6,000. I got a free T-shirt. Not everybody got that.
Same.
I know.
Lower?
Oh no, one time.
I see it throwing sparks, and I know that's the teeth going away. I should have heard it sizzle. I was like, do it. Slower pace there. Oh, give you some of that. Stacking them up. Bracket type deal, but it's got like a dimmer switch hole in it.
Or did
Here.
they use that for the starter button?
Something, maybe. I don't know.
Share the class here.
Yeah, got little, got a little footrest thing with a hole drilled in it for, say, a dimmer switch or something. I don't know what they used it for. But like, I got the dimmer switch on my car in the floor, so pretty cool.
It was meant to be. Everybody, it is Friday, so not a whole lot going on during the week this week. Tuesday, CJ was visited by a gentleman by the name of John Lewis. He was interested in getting some parts off the white Mustang that we're cutting up, and he is also very knowledgeable about cutting cars and marrying pieces back together and so forth. He offered up his help this week in CJ doing the cutting process, because CJ was a little bit stuck. He was hesitant about where to cut it and how to cut it. So with having John be knowledgeable about how that all works, that was great. And he offered to come out today, which is Friday, and help CJ get that part of it done. So Tuesday and Wednesday, CJ just kind of rested up. He was pretty much exhausted from the weekend and working on the car. And yesterday we got to go down to the Apple Festival in Jackson and just kind of walk around and hang out. So it was a nice little break for us. But I picked up the guys some pizzas, and we are headed back to see what they're up to now.
Making little pieces.
And what are the little pieces for?
To fill gaps where the cut was a little off. And weld it up and fill it in. Pretty much. Slow and time consuming, but it's welded together-ish. We got everything's in place and it's welded up. For some reason, the numbers on the bottom work out. The numbers at the windshield work out. That door is fine. This door is tight, so I don't get that. So yeah, confused on that. So I have to do a little work on the door adjustment. But the gap at the back is really tight with it all the way shoved forward.
Do you feel like overall you made good progress this weekend? And
I think so. Shit, I was up for 27 hours straight working pretty much.
between working your regular job and this?
Yeah. John coming over was a huge help.
I don't think he sat down one time when he was here
No.
for 13 hours.
No, he said he wanted to get it on. But by the whatever hours in the morning, I was damn near incoherent. Couldn't think straight. And whenever we quit, he's like, "You ready to quit yet?" I was like, "I was ready hours ago." But yeah, he was definitely a blessing. So Dustin worked his butt off. I mean, we all kind of worked our butts off. And this is where we're at. So yesterday was kind of almost a wash. I just felt so crappy from being up so long. But got after it a little bit last night. That's when the welding happened. Started going over measurements and just like walking back and forth to the cars and checking measurements and all that stuff. And like, from what I'm getting, the measurements are right. It's just this door opening seems small. As we hung both doors on it last night and set the windshield in it. So
Not too bad.
yeah, hopefully today we make some progress. Dustin's on his way back over. And this is Sunday. So gonna try and get all the welding done today. Possibly some stuff done with the front end here. And try to figure out what direction I want to go. I don't know if I want to just leave the front white and look like it is, and then the back the way it is, just clean up, do a little bit of work to the welds where it's welded together and primer that, or if I want to clean it all up and make it all nice and all that stuff. So talking with Cody on a tubular front end, but we're going to try and figure out, or what I want to do, and he's going to work on it, I believe. He's busy right now. Let's look into it, but I want to come off the cage back here with one solid piece out the front rather than coming from here out. And then on this car, I had a piece sectioned in that I used from the door bar of the cage because I didn't like the way that it kicked out, I think is what it was. I can't remember why we didn't use it. we put a straight one in there, and then I used that because it kind of kicked out, and then I ran it straight to the back of this one, welded that plate, and then welded the front end onto it. I would like to have one solid bar go out through there, tie it into the front end, mainly because of the fuckery we just did, which I think will be fine anyway, but I don't know. It's a mind thing.
Questions that we've been getting.
Okay.
The majority of them are, why didn't you just transfer everything over to another car? And originally when we brought the car home, that was up for discussion. Can you explain the work that would entail for you? His sinuses are a mess from the dust. And...
Excuse me. So, aside from the work, I don't even know how to put it. So that car looks close, but it's not. There's no fuel system. The trunk floor needs redone. It doesn't have an anti-roll bar. The rear shock setup all has to be changed, in my eyes. There's no wiring. It's got a back window in it. But that is a ton of work. No brake lines, no brake setup, no brake pedal setup. So my thoughts was, originally to try to make a couple races, it was throw everything in that chassis and go race. Essentially, it's not that easy. So I decided, I wanted to see if we could fix this. I wanted to see if we could do what we done right here. And now I want to see if the car will work and go straight. But the bottom line was, and why I didn't do it, was because if I did, the turbo car would never get done. It's been 7 years to get it where it's at. And we're starting to work our, however you want to look at it. I've had some help on it this time, and it's made a huge difference, but kind of getting back on it. I know that it has to get done because, like, realistically, the nitrous car's got its spot, but it's not. I can't afford to have the engine that it takes to be able to run in the front with a lot of these guys that we're racing against. I feel like that car would give me at least the opportunity to better try to do that. Like, it should make the power. It's just being able to have the knowledge and the combination of power management to get it there. The small tire guys these days they're no joke. It's so money driven now that it's hard to even think about affording to be able to go to some of these races and stand a chance. But we'll see how that goes. But realistically, the reason that this stuff, the nitrous stuff's not all in that, is because I know that has to get done, and if I did that, it would never get done. And that's kind of that. I mean, that's the answer.
It's just your preference.
Yeah, it has to get done for us to stand a chance. And like this year, I've been driven around and away from so much that it made me realize that something has to happen.
Sooner than later.
Yeah, and I've got all that sitting there, like, that was the next thing for me, years ago, and just never could get it together, could get it to come together. So that's that.
Do you think next year that most cars are going to be tube chassis cars that are out?
And small tire, I believe the majority of them will be. Yes. Just because, like, I'm not saying that a stock suspension car can't hang. Like, I'm not saying that at all. They can. They have. But it's less likely. In my eyes. Like, if you've got a 40-car field and 34 of them are $150,000 tube chassis race cars with good race programs, you're slim to none going to win. And like I said, that's my eyes. Unless you're like Ryan Mitchell, because he's just a badass. Him and his wife go out and race alone and win a bunch of shit. So,
Do you think 2 chassis will ever be an option for you or your program?
I'm not saying it wouldn't be. There was a good conversation and a lot of talk about possibly doing one. A lot of that fell through, and it was the money side of it. But I'm not saying that I'm against doing a 2 chassis car. I don't think it's the right move for the nitrous small block that I have. But I don't know. We'll see. I've come to terms that if I'm going to have a 2 chassis car, more than likely I'm going to have to build it. So, because I can't afford to have somebody else do it. And I don't, to be quite transparent, I don't believe I can read a rule book and comprehend what it's telling me good enough to be able to do that.
So you would need a blueprint.
I can read a blueprint, but all the bullshit terminology and the different stuff that they say in there, like, I'm too dyslexic to be able to read that shit and get it. I read instructions on something and I fall asleep. Like, I got to keep going, be busy. I can't sit down and read stuff. So. But we'll see. I don't know. Realistically, on the 2 chassis thing, like, I got that car there, but it's like, that car is super duper solid. I would
Which car?
That one.
Oh, that one that's got stuff piled on
I
it.
would hate to cut that thing up and make a 2 chassis out of it because it's just way too solid of a car. Like, once we got into it, it's way solid, more solid than the car we cut up. But this still is a super solid car. So.
Yeah.
91 Ford Mustang GT. What it was.
No longer is.
Now it's like a 91 Faux Stang.
Faux stain.
Faux Stang T. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
All right, we'll let you get back to work and see what we come up with this week.
All right.
Congratulations to Rylan from West Virginia on being Raggedy Ann's biggest fan for the month of September. Your merch package is on the way. To enter, please submit photos to the Raggedy Ann Facebook page through Messenger.